everyone, it's your host Davia, and we're breaking down how outpatient care and step-down services help people maintain stability after addiction treatment. And joining me is Dr. Richardson, the CEO and Clinical Director of ICGH. Once someone leaves inpatient care or recovery housing, how do you help them with long-term stability?
After you come into our inpatient program, crisis management program, we can transition you smoothly into residential care, which could be 30 days up to 90 days. And incorporated with recovery housing will be what we call partial hospitalization or intense outpatient. So you still get high levels of counseling. It's just not an inpatient setting every single day, but you can marry that intensive outpatient counseling along with recovery housing and continuing your med management, continuing to work with your peer support specialist. And if you have other needs such as literacy, workplace training, other types of challenges, we can work with you so that we can smoothly transition you back out into the community. And you've already stabilized, so you can maintain your recovery through lower levels of outpatient care and then continue to engage in the recovery community wherever you go home to.
And so I know that step-down services are a gradual reduction, in the treatment intensity. So this includes partial hospitalization and intensive outpatient programs. What are these, and then who are they for? So
people who are struggling for an excessive amount of time, sometimes they might be unsheltered, unhoused, they might have justice involvement, meaning that some of their addiction symptoms incorporated, breaking the law, other types of challenges. And so for these individuals, you have partial hospitalization or what we call SACOT, substance use comprehensive outpatient. That means you get to have counseling every day of the week for 4 hours a day, and you kind of stay with us during that time and work on all those drug-free coping strategies. And then somebody who does well in that level of care can step down again, if you will, to 3 days a week, 3 hours a day.
How does supportive employment help in recovery?
People haven't had a job their whole adult life. And so being able to provide supportive employment gives them real structured workplace skills, so that they can create a resume, they can start getting some letters of recommendation. And without a job, without a house, without all those other, what I call recovery capital, with all those other supports, it's really hard to imagine how somebody would maintain their recovery. And over the years, we've been able to provide those social supports, which means housing and education and employment skills and all those other very necessary things, so you can really put your life. It's so much more than talk therapy and a prescription.
So why is the continuity of care so important for preventing relapse?
There are too many challenges, there are too many triggers. So working with our psychiatrist, working with our licensed therapist, working with our counselors, working with our peer supports, we can help you navigate until you can get all of those skills yourself, and then added on top of that, not just the drug-free coping strategies, but all those other types of things that you need around employment and parenting and transportation. So many people come to us where they started actively using at a very young age. They never got the chance to really engage and grow up the way you and I might have been able to. This is a generational problem that we see across Eastern North Carolina from generation to generation, and what we're doing is breaking that cycle. And this is the way to do it. We have the right funding, we have the right staff, we have the right level of engagement when those patients come to us, and we're seeing people turn their whole lives around.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richardson. Very informative.
Thank you for having me today.
Of course.